Hello to everyone, just a short update of my trip. So finally, after 2 weeks, on a nice and sunny weather, today I've got a lot of rain. A lot. When I mean a lot, I mean a lot. When I woke up at Napier, everything was perfect. The sky was looking so clean and it was sunny, wonderful weather. I started probably with around 15 degrees, so I did not even guess for a second that it might rain in some stage. But anyway, on the way down to Wellington, I was actually having a plan to come in Wellington as soon as possible and to get the afternoon 2 o'clock ferry straight on to Picton, and even from Picton try to ride like 200-300 kilometers and spend the night somewhere on the west coast of South Island. But somewhere around 100 kilometers away from Napier, on the way to Wellington, it started to rain, and it started to rain really heavy, and I spent the next 3 hours riding in the heavy rain. And what I have to say, my gear, I have no rain gear. My gear usually is very good and used to be very good, and it was used to hold at least 4 to 5 hours heavy rain, but now after 3 hours it's completely gave up, probably because it is already worn out. It's more than 3 years old and I use it a lot. So I came to Wellington completely wet, absolutely wet. And yeah, when I removed the gear, my back was dry, my front here was dry, but I feel a lot of damp here around my neck, and also my pants were completely wet. My boots were completely wet, because actually when the water going from your pants from here, when the pants became wet, everything go inside of my boots. So even the boots were wet, my socks, everything. So anyway, I went to the port and I decided to, instead of getting the ferry at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I was here 11:30. Actually, I rode from Napier to Wellington without even single stop, because it was raining all the time. There was no reason to stop anyway. So instead of getting the ferry at 2 o'clock, I decided to get the ferry 2 in the morning, because I've got a flight to catch back to Australia on the 18th of July. And I thought that this will give me at least one extra day to have to spend on the west coast. And anyway, I bought the ticket and came here to see the friend I stayed already on the way up, and Ken in his place. So we discussed everything with Ken, and he said, why you don't try just to change your flight tickets? This is what I was planning to do in the case I cannot make it, because the time is just never enough. So I tried and I changed my flight ticket. They just sent me the confirmation that everything is alright. So I'm not gonna fly on the 18th, I'm gonna fly on the 22nd, which is good. And then what I did just is go again and change my ferry reservation as well. Instead of 2 in the morning, I will sail on the 8 in the morning, which is mean another one night here to spend, which is good. And the reason I did it is because when I checked the forecast for the next 2 days on the west coast, it's only rain. Does mean even if I'm able to make it to go from the top, from Picton up down to Gore, I will spend the next 2-3 days riding only in the rain, and I'm not gonna see anything. That's why I decided to slow down and make it a little bit different. I will spend another 1 day in Picton and wait, maybe on the next day will be a little bit better, and we'll continue. But also I went today, we went with Ken to the town here, and I bought rain gear, because the reason I did not brought my rain gear on the way to Australia was because I have no space in my luggage. As you know, all of my gear, my boots, my pants, everything need to go in the silver bag I've got, and that's why I did not brought it with me. And a few times in Australia I was looking in the motorcycle shop trying to buy some rain gear, but I couldn't find what exactly I need. and I gave up this idea. But after yesterday, after not yesterday, after today rain, when I got so badly wet, and when I saw the forecast for the next 2-3 days only rain, so I went and bought a rain gear. So now I have a rain gear, which will help a lot, I guess. So the point of this video is to let you know that any gear, it doesn't matter how expensive is your gear and how good is your gear, nothing lasts forever. In some stage it will give up, and then it will finish completely wet. And when you don't have the chance to get dry, thanks to Ken, we use the dryer, so we dry everything and the gear is dry, so at least I don't need to stay wet on the ferry tomorrow. But when you don't have this chance, then you have to ride on the next day, wet again and again and again, and all of this is not a pleasure at all. On the side of that, everything is absolutely perfect as usual. I completed the loop around the North Island. I'm very pleased with everything I saw, and very happy and very thankful to all the guys who helped me with the stuff. So now I will go back to the west, to the South Island. I will try to see the west coast as much as possible for the next already like 5-7 days, which is good, and then we'll go back to Australia. So a little long video. I thought it's going to be short, but I couldn't make it short. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you next time. Ciao.